welcome back to the crafting studio. I'm Amanda, and today I'm here to show you our red, white, and blue wreath. Red, white, and blue wreath is great for Memorial Day, or of course July 4th, President's Day, Labor Day. You can use it all summer if you want. Anyway, so let's get started. So first of all, I got this wire wreath. You can get it at any Hobby Lobby store or Michael's or a florist wholesale. I've seen them without the chenille, which is fine, but I just happened to find this one that was white with the white chenille, and I really like it. So what we'll do, we'll just start by unfolding the chenille. And these really at the end, well, you really won't see these very much, so we're not going to be too concerned again about their color. If you can find a green wire wreath, that's fine, but you need just this wire base. So we have the normal florist ribbon. This happens to be water resistant. So I get this at the Floral Wholesale Company. This is 1.5 inches wide, and again, it's waterproof, so it can withstand the rain or the outdoor elements. So I have purchased this in red, white, and blue. That's 1.5 inch wide, okay? Then we go to our nicer ribbons, and these ribbons are 2.5 inches wide, and I just kind of want to mix it. I don't want any, them all to have polka dots or all have stars. I really picked a different mix there. This kind of gives you an idea as far as ribbon, what you'll need for ribbon, and 1 bolt of each should be enough. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to make my bows, and this is my favorite ribbon, so this will be my primary ribbon. And again, I showed in our last video how to make a bow, and I'm going to show you again this time. Because this one has more loops, so it might be a little bit more complicated, but I don't want to scare you away. Always start with a wire. But I like a taped wire because it grips the ribbon really good, and then you won't have that loose feeling when you tie your ribbon off. And I just happen to have white florist tape. You can use green, it won't show, it doesn't matter. So I have my 21-inch gauge wire, and then I have my floral tape. So basically you're going to lay the wire on top of the floral tape, and you're going to twist and use this thumb and hand as a guide. So this might take you a few practices to get that. I've been doing it since I was 10, so I can do it blindfolded. But anyway, so again, any kind of floral tape, this has kind of that sticky consistency. And then the 21-inch wire, lay it on top and just twist. Okay, so I have taped my wire, and I've cut that wire in half. So that was 21 gauge wire that we have taped in white. Okay, so now let's review bow making. So this 2.5 inch ribbon, I'm just gonna cinch it together. I'm going to make a loop, and as you can tell, it just naturally wants to come back up. So we're gonna bring it right back up and cinch it together. And because we're making more than a 2-looper, we're gonna do the same thing again. I have a loop, cinch, and then come back up and cinch. Now this is the tricky part. I say tricky because it's just how I do it, and it is a little bit difficult, but when you learn how, it'll make your bow life easier. Switch it to this hand right here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this free from the bolt. I'm gonna take my taped wire, lay it across, then I'm gonna flip it around here and twist. So there we go, okay? And I will make 3 of each ribbon kind, I guess. So I'll make 3 of these, 3 with this, and 3 with this. So 9 total for the 2.5, and then same with the 1.5, okay? My next step, let me get these little guys over, okay? My next step, I went ahead and pre-made these bows because it does take a while, is to add all our bigger bows. Now, before we want to do this, we want to keep in mind that we're going to have a little section here that's going to have all the ribbons. So we don't really want to put anything right here yet. So how we're going to do that is we will start just adding our large bows around that wire and twist. We'll cut it, we'll flip it over in a minute and cut it. So here's my other bow of the 2.5 inch red, white, and blue. Okay, and just around that form like that and twist. Now they might feel a little loose right now. Don't worry, we're gonna come behind and hot glue those in place. And I promise they will not move. Okay? So could just continue on with your next set of ribbons. So again, I've already pre-made these. I'm using this 2.5 inch wide. And I'm just going to come in between here and add that ribbon there. And we'll add this one right here, kind of in between. You just want them equally around this wreath form. Don't think about it too much because it's going to be so full that it really won't matter if it's not completely opposite of the other kind, or if you don't feel like it's right. I promise it will look good and full. So next what I'll do is come around and just wire cut off all those wire ends like that, because that can scratch a door and we don't want that to happen, and we just need it, you know, to look nice. So there we go, and I think I've almost got them all. So what we'll do at this stage is I'm gonna go ahead and hot glue. I would normally kind of wait until I had all the ribbons on, but I'm gonna go ahead and hot glue some of these in place. And again, we're just gonna hot glue right at that point of intersection between the ribbon and the wire, okay? We wanna keep these suckers from moving too much. Okay, like that, like that. Don't worry about fluffing our ribbons right now. Let's just worry about the mechanics of it all and getting all this to not move. And then I went ahead and pre-made the smaller red, white, and blue. Okay. And I made 6 of each color of the red, white, and blue 1.5 indoor-outdoor ribbon. As you can see, all the glue spots have dried, and when I flip it over, it's already pretty full, but we are still gonna add lots of ribbon. I'm not gonna fluff any of it yet. I'm going to now add my 1.5 bows that I've already made. I wanna tell you something, with these, I don't wire these. It's just quicker for me to do them this other way, so I'm gonna show you. The first part is done our normal cinch and loop way. So I'm gonna do 1 loop, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, I'm gonna switch to the other hand, cut, and now I'm gonna cut a piece off that's about 12 inches. And just like the wire, I'm gonna lay it around there, gonna flip it around, and I'm just gonna tie it off. And I even use my teeth to do that. See? Only I do this because there's not a lot of substance to this, and so a wire just won't work as good as the ribbon itself. And then we'll tie it, and it makes tying it on very easy too. So again, if you might want to rewind this if you're not sure what I did, but it's the same idea as the wire, but with ribbon. Okay, so now I'm going to come in and fill in with all my red, white, and blue. And this is why I use ribbon, because look how easy it is just to tie that on. And just don't think about it too much. If you see a part of the wire, put a bow there, leaving this space open here at the bottom. Okay, so I'll flip this around and I'll do the same thing that I did with the first set of ribbons. Now I'll cut off all the little ends of the 1.5. Okay, and just discard those. We don't need those. They'll just make it look messy behind here. Okay, and then I will cut off the loose wires. Okay, any loose wires. And now I might take these little chenilles and kind of twist them, just the little ends, and pull them on through into the wreath and twist those little ends just for extra decor. They don't really serve a purpose. So that's why you can buy, if you can only find the plain wire wreath, you can totally use that. Okay, so and then my last step for this right here is to hot glue every ribbon I just attached. So just go around, and wherever the wire meets, where the ribbon meets the wire, just add some glue. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next step. This is pretty full. This is probably all the bow ribbons we're gonna add. And again, just kind of pull these white chenilles through the ribbon and give it a little twist. That just gives it a little extra something, okay? Okay, so now we're gonna add all our streamers. And to do that, we're gonna start with our red, white, and blue. And I've already marked 36 inches on my table. So that's how long I want the ribbon to be. On the front door is fine. So because we're gonna tie it on, I'll need to double that. Just like that. So basically what you're gonna do is take that loop and go behind the wire, pull that ribbon through all the way, and then pull it tight, like that. Okay, let's do another one. So we'll do a white one this time. Again, I'm gonna measure out 36 twice. Okay, I'm going to come around that wire with the loop, open up the loop, pull those ribbons through. Be careful because that indoor-outdoor will wrinkle, and then I'm pull it tight, okay? And then move it over for the next one, okay? And I'm gonna continue that until I like the fullness of it. Now, I would keep going until it was really full, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do the bigger ribbons. But before we do that, how about we make our main bow? So we want a big main bow here. And when I make that main bow, you'll see it'll fill in this part, and then I'll add some more streamers. I want this really full with streamers. So for my main bow, I'm gonna use my favorite ribbon, the red, white, and blue. And this time, when I make my bow, I'm gonna make it bigger. Remember, we were kind of keeping it to 4 inches. Let's go on up to 6 inches if you can. And it's the same process. Make loops and cinch, and loops and cinch, okay? And be sure you have that tape wire ready to go, because you can't let go of this. So it's all cinched in my hand, and I'm not worried about whether one loop matches the length of the other loop. It's just not necessary. What you want here is fullness. So just keep adding. And I'm gonna kind of see, okay, yeah, that's looking good. Let's keep going. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 loops. Total, 5 on each side, but I'm gonna keep going. So as you can see, it's all cinched in my hand like this. Okay, this might be the tricky part. So I'm going to let some of this ribbon fall down, about 36 inches. And I'm going to bring it back up and cinch it in that bow. So let me do it again. I'm going to grab it. It's all cinched in this hand. I'm going to let it fall and then cinch it back into that bow. So there we go. Now I'm going to switch hands like we always do. Cut free the 2.5 inch ribbon, and with my taped wire, lay it across there, flip it around, and twist. And there we go. We have our main bow. And then I'm going to attach it. I'm going to attach it to the inside wire, because if I touched it down here, it wouldn't look right, composition-wise. You really need it on that inside wire, the smallest circle, okay? Now, I will come in here and hot glue that, but we won't right now. And then I would warn you, go ahead and cut these, because these will get caught on your hands when you're adding the other ribbon. Okay, there we go. So we haven't added this ribbon yet, and this is a little bit easier. So I'm going to cut 36 inches, and for this one, what we're going to do is find our spot we want to add that ribbon. I'm going to put a little hot glue, and being very careful not to burn my hand, just going to come around like that on that wire form. And I'm going to repeat that with all the rest of my ribbon, 36 inches. And I'm gonna do this one on that innermost wire, innermost circle. Okay. Again, be careful when you do this because the hot glue, it will get you. And I think we'll add a ribbon of the red and white, the blue and white striped. Okay. And again, make it a little bigger than you did your first bows. And for this one, hot gluing is just fine because you're gonna hot glue that to the center of this fella. Let it dry. Now look, we've made a double bow. How about that with hot glue? So we've got our big one, 2.5 with the 1.5 inch over it. Isn't that fun? Okay, so I've added streamers. I'm gonna probably add a lot more before it's all said and done, but we'll go on to the next part. So my next part is to add this USA. And I don't wanna put it straight across. I'm gonna kinda hot glue it at an angle. It's hard to tell at this upside down, but probably just like that. So put it in position, lift it up, put some hot glue at those points where you know it'll catch. My hot glue is really hot right now, so it's kind of going crazy. And then let that dry. Let's leave this ribbon on for now. I don't want to cut it off yet. So our next thing, I got these really cute rockets, so that'll be our centerpiece of our bow. And I will just add some hot glue to that part that's going to attach to the bow. And move the bow over and then turn it in like that. And we kind of want it at an angle just because it looks like it's shooting off. Okay, and so those two things are drying. Then we'll go ahead and add these really cute fans. So I had the mistake of getting the big ones, but we cut these down, so they need to be about the size of a dinner plate. So just keep that in mind. And what we're gonna do with the fans is I'm gonna come in between and behind this ribbon and glue it in place, just like that. So my glue is gonna go on this part right here. Okay, and it won't take much. These are really light. So just when I get it where I want it, I'm gonna fold it open and catch whatever that hot glue will adhere to. And it doesn't take much, and just let that kind of open up and flare out behind our big ribbon like that, okay? And then we have one more that we'll do. Again, we had to cut this, so if you're looking and shopping for fans, make sure they're about dinner plate size, okay? And so we'll come up here to this part, the top part of the wreath. I'm gonna add a little bit of glue, and I'm gonna move some ribbon around and then force that fan open, okay? It would be fun to use a silver fan or anything that is, you know, matches your wreath or looks like USA. These picks usually come like this on a wire, so it makes our lives easier because all I'm gonna do is cut that off at that kind of meeting point. I'm gonna add a lot of hot glue to this guy. So placement's gotta go fast. And there it is, right behind the USA. Okay, so I bought two rockets because I knew two would look good. And we're gonna put that other one kind of at an angle from the inside of that wreath shooting out. So behind here, we'll add our starburst. So my next thing I have are these fabulous picks that have the stars on them, and same thing, gonna cut that down. And I've been wanting something right here, and I think that's it. So we do have left another little 3-pair rocket, which is adorable, and I think it needs to go on this side as well as these adorable hats. So I'll add these, and you can just watch me add, again, same thing, hot gluing it all in. So I absolutely absolutely love the way this wreath turned out. I hope you do too. If you'd like to see more of what I do on a weekly basis, follow me on my social media. On Facebook, it's Amanda Barkley Freelance Florist, and on Instagram, it's Amanda Barkley Floral. I hope you enjoyed this video today for your red, white, and blue wreath. And if you have any other ideas or things you'd like me to make and share a video with it, please leave it in the comments below. Also, I'd love if you subscribe to my channel to see all the good stuff that we're going to make in the next few months. And that's it. So thank you very much for watching.